Good morning, believers. Good morning, Israel. Good morning. Good morning. It's your brother JD Nye, your word of truth. Bible teaching. With Jeff Deloach. Heavenly Father, bless the message. Bless my brothers and sisters who are here today listening to the message. Give them strength, give them wisdom. Give them protection in their minds from wicked thoughts, vain imaginations. Amen. So, the Gentiles. What is wrong with Black Hebrew Israelism? What's one of their biggest mistakes? Well, one is they think they're the Israelites, which is questionable at best and a strained reality. Could be true. They're not showing themselves to be men of the Lord. So I wanted to go into something they say all the time. Israel, only Israel can be saved. The elect of Israel are the ones that are going to be saved. The elect of Israel, the Negroes, the ones that are awake right now, that are doing the word of the Lord, Yahweh B'Hashem, Yahweh Shai B'Hashem B'Kakadash. Their Hebrew iteration of the name of God. Their made up language. You know, at one time I took black Israelite nationality or inheritance. I took it as a strong possibility. I'm not so sure anymore. And this was before I knew about the Black Hebrew Israelites. I was drawn through it through Rastafarianism. And the Lord telling me I was a Benjamite and realizing that the Benjamites were the Jamaicans. Under the rule of Haile Selassie. Last in the traceable line of King Solomon. So there's the proof that if they really wanted to claim Israel, they're missing the point. They're missing the point that there's evidence that His Most High Majesty Haile Selassie was of the tribe of Judah. Haile Selassie, if you don't know, he was actually the first leader of the United Nations. He was an Ethiopian king. And he was a black man, of course, because he was from Ethiopia. But anyhow, these guys have jumped off they've jumped out into the weeds, and they're not coming back to the truth. There's things that we know and things that we don't know. And there's things that are pointed at, and there's things that are just plain not verifiable and don't even make any sense that these guys say. But anyhow, I wanted to look at, I heard Gabar, he says these things, and the reason I know they're not true is because my spirit I have a really good bullshit meter when it comes to this book. I have a really good bullshit meter anymore. And I'm not afraid to look. And so this is one of those times where I looked, and they have a strong point about the Gentiles aren't under the law. The Gentiles don't have the law. The Gentiles don't have the law. True. True. The Gentiles aren't under the law. So the first question I would have for a black Hebrew Israelite is, if the Gentiles aren't under the law, but the Gentiles are actually the Israelites in a Hellenistic state of mind, they're in a Gentile state of mind, they've been Gentilized, they've been nationalized into the pagan beliefs, right? That's what they think. They think they're Israelites that are acting like pagans. If they're really Israelites, why aren't they under the law? That would be my first question. What do you mean they're not under the law? If the Gentiles are Israelites, then they're under the law. If they're the seed of Abraham, if they're black, Native American, or Mexican, or whatever, all this tribe chart, this silly fucking white hate narrative that they push out. If these are the Israelites, if these people are the Israelites in a Gentile state of mind, why aren't they under the law? If that's who they're talking about, the Gentiles. See, they confuse everything. Who's the Gentile? Then if those people are the Gentiles, they're under the law, but they're in a pagan state of mind, like they say, who are the other nations? What do we call them? The pagans, the heathens? I don't think the Bible addresses in any logical way the claims that they're making. It doesn't make any sense. If they're the seed of Israel, they're under the law. Whether they're acting like heathens or acting like Jews or acting like Catholics or acting like Protestants, whatever they're acting like, if they're a black man in America, came over on the slave ships, have the seed of Abraham, and they're Israel, then how could they not have the law? These guys are just, the teaching is it's completely fucked up my mind. Because I'm trying to understand where the fuck they're coming from. And they believe it. I think they believe it. Would you spend that much time talking about bullshit if you didn't believe it? I mean, people do. People are fucking vicious, wicked. But anyway, Romans 2:14 and 15, it talks about the Gentiles. For there are no respect of persons with God. There's no respect of persons. Let's just start right there, since we're in Romans 2. God is sovereign. I know you guys have a hard time listening to me. I don't know why that is. Maybe because I expect you to be able to understand verbiage. And I'm not going to sit here and go, do you know what sovereign means? Let's look it up. Let's be wordsmiths. If you don't know what sovereign is, sovereign means God can do whatever the fuck he wants. He's in charge. He's the king. He's the Lord. He's got control. So if he has control and there is no respect of persons with God, then being that I'm of Benjamin of Judah, that doesn't mean anything to him. It means something to me because he told me that's who I am. I need to figure out what that means for me. He don't care. He's like, you're one of mine. What are you going to do with that? And so, do you understand what I'm saying? He didn't care about Black Hebrew Israelism. He doesn't care about Catholicism. He doesn't care about popes. He doesn't care about priests. He doesn't care about prophets. He doesn't care. If he does, it's his reason, not our reason. He's sovereign. And that's what I think religion really fucks up. Really loses it. Because they think God can be puppeted. God's their little genie in a bottle. For as many as have sinned, we're talking about the law and sin. We're talking about the Gentiles. Are the Gentiles under the law? No. For as many as have sinned without law shall also perish without law. They don't have the law, but they sin. And they're going to perish without the law because they never had the law, never will have the law. They're going to sin. They're still going to have to answer for their sins, even though they're not under the law. Is that what it says? For as many as have sinned without the law shall also perish without the law. They didn't have the law, but they still had sin, and they still perished. God's sovereign. He's saying, I don't care if I gave you the law or not. I don't care if you received it or not. I don't care. And as many as have sinned in the law shall be judged by the law. Either way, you're either going to get judged or you're going to perish. If you're under the law, you're going to get judged for breaking the law. I consider myself under the law because I consider myself Jewish. But I'm also Christian, so the Lord has taken away the law. That's why it doesn't make any sense for these guys to be saying anything about the law. The only law now is to love God with all your heart, all your strength, all your mind. See, I'm not a rah-rah guy, and maybe that's why I don't have a lot of views. I'm a Bible scholar, people. I'm not going to just latch onto something and go, that's what it is, let's all kumbaya, and we're going to rapture out of here and dance in the clouds with God. I'm going to find out the truth. I don't care if I have to eat crow once in a while and say, yeah, they're right. the Gentiles aren't under the law of Moses, but they are under the law of liberty. They're under the law of Jesus Christ. If they bring themselves into communion in covenant, if they're in covenant, then the Lord puts the love of each other and the love of him in their heart. And that's what these black Hebrew Israelites, they're so full of hate, they don't consider love anywhere in their doctrine. I mean, we don't have to believe Jesus is all love all the time. He's all love all the time. No, you don't have to believe that because it's not true. He's not all love all the time. That's not his job. Our job is to love. His job is to make sure everything stays in order. Everything comes out the way he has it planned. He's sovereign. He's the king. He's the leader. He's the ruler. Get it? Verse 13, for not the hearers of the law are just before God, but the doers of the law shall be justified. For not the hearers of the law are just before God, but the doers of the law are justified. What's that mean? What's it talking about? Just like what I just said. Don't hurt your brother. Love your brother like yourself. Show that love through your love of your Creator, who made us all equal. There is no respecter of persons. That's what makes Black Hebrew Israelism so disgustingly wrong, is the racism that's involved. And people aren't grasping it. They're like, leave those niggas alone. Don't be calling them names. No, they've already been punished enough. These poor Negroes. They're not poor. They're stupid. They're racist. If they're going to use racist language, I'll use racist language. If they're going to be racist, I'll bring it back at them. Fuck you too. Key verse. For when the Gentiles, which have not the law. So who are these Gentiles? GMS, Black Hebrew Israel. Who are these Gentiles that don't have the law? Are those the Israelites? Are those the Israelites in a pagan state of mind? Are those the Israelites in a Hellenistic state of mind, acting like heathens? Are those Israelites? For when the Gentiles, which have not the law. How could they not have the law if they're Israelites? You guys get me? You understand how fucking confusing and gaslighting and bullshit their fucked up religion is? The Bible, the whole thing with the Gentiles is so fucked up in their head. Their hatred for white people is so ingrained in their hearts that they're sickeningly biased towards something that's not even true. I got to get a drink on that one, man. These guys. For when the Gentiles, which have not the law. What's a Gentile? Do these guys know the difference between a Gentile and a Jew? A believer and a Jew? How could they be the Jews if they don't know about the difference between a Jew and a Gentile? No, the Gentiles are Jews. No, the Gentiles are Gentiles. There's a word for it in Judaism. Shitzva or something like that. Fucking Gentile. Shitzva. Sfixva. I don't know. Melanie, how do you pronounce that word? Shitska. Shithead. Whatever. For when the Gentiles, which have not the law, do by nature the things contained in the law, these having not the law are a law unto themselves. Continuing, colon. which show the work of the law written in their hearts. Which show the law written in their hearts. There's a hole in my Bible right here, right where that's weird. Got punched through right there. There's a little diamond right there. Oh. Let me read it again. When the Gentiles, which have not the law, do by nature the things contained in the law, these, having not the law, are a law unto themselves, which show the work of the law written in their hearts, their conscience also bearing witness, and their thoughts the mean, while accusing or else excusing one another, in the day when God shall judge the secrets of men by Jesus Christ according to my gospel. What's Paul saying? I'm a Benjamite. I'm telling you guys what it's about. That's what Paul is telling these Romans. Let me tell you, he's going to judge you by what's in your heart. That's why if all of Judah and Israel and Benjamin are black people, and I just happen to be a white guy, I'm one of these Gentiles that has been so supercharged by Jesus that now I'm a Jew. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? I'm Jewish in my heart. And that's the beauty of this ministry that no one cares about. It's the cutting edge. It's the cutting edge of Jesus Christ, and no one, hardly anyone, some of you get it. This is the first time that I've come out and actually said it, because I don't see myself as super Gentile that turned into a Jew. I don't see it that way. I just see myself as a Benjamite, period. Color doesn't matter to me. He told me who I am, and I'm like, okay, I'm a Benjamin. I'm one of his, of Judah. All right, cool. What's that mean? That means if all Jews are supposed to be black people, all Israelites are supposed to be black people, who am I then? I'm a super Jew. I'm a super Christian. I'm a Christian Jew. I'm a fucking Gentile Jew. I'm an actual, used to be a pagan, now I'm a Jew. I've been circumcised in my heart. I've been doing these lessons for 3 years now, and no one has caught on to that. No one has made their own channel and said, look, I believe this guy's a prophet. I believe what he says. He either white people can be Jews, even though they say it can only be blacks, Native Americans, and blah, blah, blah. Or God's doing a new thing. Let me see what I got. I'm evidence of God's plan for the Gentiles. Could that be it? Very well could be. Maybe I am a Gentile that got made into a Jew. How's that? Super Jew. A Christian super Jew. I think that's beautiful. That's beautiful. The bummer thing about it is that I'm going to be the one that gets tortured the worst, because I can't relate to my Christian brothers because I'm a Jew. Never have. Had a hard time with Christianity. I'm going to go back to church tomorrow. I've made up my mind. I'm going to go in there and I'm going to do my best to be kind, be polite, sit down, listen politely, keep my fucking thoughts to myself, and then see what happens. Going back to church tomorrow. So let me continue on this story of, do the Gentiles have the law? I'll come back and I'll read this part again, and then I'm going to move to another section so you can understand. I'm teaching the Bible. Listen, please. I love you guys. I'm out.